Hey, what is up everyone? Professor Danny and Alex. In this Jiu-Jitsu video, we're going to talk about self-defense in the guard position. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is when I'm in my guard and I have an aggressor who's between my legs who's going to try to attack me with strikes. I want to have that awareness of what I should do and how I should compose my position. So now if he goes for a swing, what I need to do is I don't want to start covering up like this or trying to catch the punch. That's not going to cut it, right? So I need to have something that's almost foolproof. And the way I'm going to do this is when I see the punch coming, I'm going to use my legs and my arms to wrap him up. All right, so in this tie-up position, what happens is my arm is going to be controlling his head. All right, so notice how I'm making him look away from me. Now he can't see what's going on. Another tip is I'm wrapping the arm with my free arm. Okay, so this is the punch. He's going to try to attack me with strikes to the face, and I want to cover myself like this. Sometimes I just hold on to this, or other times I'll just grab my own knee like this. So I'm just going to shut the door from this angle. Now the only option that's left from here is he's going to try to body shot me on this side. So if this starts to annoy you, what you can easily do is just drop this foot, turn to the side, and now bring your elbow onto your knee like this. Now I've just turned everything off for him. Okay, let's take a look from a different angle. So once again, my opponent tries to attack me. I use my knees, I pull him in to tie him up. All right, I want to keep control of his head, making him look away from me, so it's almost like his forehead is snug deep against my chest. And now my arm wraps him, I'm tying him up from here. The only opening that's left is the body shots. Now place your foot to the mat, turn, and now watch how my elbow connects to my knee right here. Boom. Now he can't hit you anymore. Your knee and your arm is in the way. So I've just shut down that option for him. In this position here now, as the attacker, I might try to grab a hold of his shirt, his jacket, even his hoodie. In our case, we're using the gi, all right? So I'm gonna take his gi and make it loose like this, all right? So if he had a hoodie, very flimsy, a lot of times what could happen now is I could try to grab the cloth and drive that to use pressure onto his neck. And this could be a very common attack. So when I'm doing this like this, what Alex wants to do is alleviate the pressure so he could get comfortable first, all right? So the way we're gonna do this now is he's gonna drive his guard up. So notice how when I start to apply the pressure here to make himself comfortable, he's raising the pelvis off the mat. That's super important. Now it's very rigid from here. Go back, Alex. So watch this. When I start to apply the pressure and he raises up, now it's loose here. So now there's no chance of him getting injured from this attack. But he doesn't want to stay here. He wants to remove that grip. So what we're going to do now, we're going to practice as I start to do the trusting choke. Now he's going to grab on top of the knuckles and the other hand on top of his own hand, and I'll peel this off. Boom. Okay? So it's a super simple technique, but a lot of times when we practice jiu-jitsu, we've got to be aware of the common reactions that are going to happen on the street against a street fighter or just a normal aggressor. Right? So they're not going to know how to necessarily pass your guard like we do in sport jiu-jitsu. When I land here, my ultimate goal is going to be, if I'm not a jiu-jitsu practitioner, it's going to be to hit you or try to strangle you. Those are very common attacks, and we want to be able to know how to use simple and efficient techniques to stop the aggression. Let's take a look one more time. So I'm here, I'm driving the pressure. He alleviates by, don't forget, raising your hips off the mat, grabbing the knuckle, pushing it off and peeling, see? Perfect. Now I want to show you guys an option that could be available for you. Watch this. As I start to apply the pressure and he does the technique we just showed, my hand stays onto his chest. As he peels it off, boom, my palm remains to the chest. What he's going to do now is go underneath, grab and raise the elbow, see? Now release and press two hands behind the elbow, raising on a 90, pulling me into a beautiful wrist lock, okay? So this technique will work well when my palm stays connected to your chest, especially if you have a hold of your kimono, okay? So one more time here. As I'm using the first technique here, he alleviates the pressure, peels everything off. Now my hand is onto his chest. He swims one arm underneath, raises the elbow up, traps it, and presses to break the wrist. Now, let's take a look at another common attack. Sometimes they'll try to strangle you, one-handed, like this. So if Alex stays here, this is an uncomfortable position for him. Once again, raise up, see? As he raises up, now my reach has just shortened. Now there's no more pressure onto his neck. Now he wants to push the arm. Now, because he's driving his hips up, watch how you can easily shift my hand from the left to right side because I have nothing to latch onto. Now he chooses to move it across and pulls the legs in to trap me right here. Now, once we've trapped and controlled the opponent using the cross technique, what's going to happen now is he's going to wrap this nice and tight, raise his head up so I can't free my arm, and now find a shrimping motion. That means just moving your hips to the outside so you can put his toes, which is going to be the hook, inside my lap. All right, now I'm going to let him do this because this is going to muffle my microphone and you're not going to hear the technique. So I just want you guys to see the whole technique as a sequence. So as you saw into the technique now, Alex used his legs as leverage to elevate half of my body, which is the lower body. Elevate that so now half of the weight is off the mat and able to turn the situation around by getting the top position. And what makes this trick easy is that I don't have a post on this side. When I'm about to fall on this side, my reaction is going to be to put my elbow or my hand there. But now it's trapped with the arm triangle position. Okay, that's the beauty of it. When I try to strangle him, he's able to use that technique against me. Watch again. Boom. Now I want to show a quick close-up at the area of my feet. Okay, watch this. What's going to make the hook go in perfectly is once he traps my arm, we're going to keep it just in this position for the purpose of me explaining what's happening here. Alex finds a way to shrimp his hips out and uses his foot as a hook underneath my foot, almost like we want to go shoelace to shoelace. And now he extends this, boom. See how my knee moves? Now he has space to swim his toes inside and uses this as a grapevine to sweep me. From here, all he needs to do is ensure he has control. And now he does a scissor to get the top position. Now, once we've learned this previous technique, it's a beautiful thing. Why is that? Because we can also use it against a very aggressive opponent and use a submission right against them. Okay, watch this. We have a perfect position when we land and mount, but this time, instead of stabilizing with our hands, we're going to continue flowing into a deeper connection against the neck, and that's going to be called the arm triangle. Let's watch. So as you just saw in this previous technique now, Alex finalized the position using a blood choke, using the arm. So if we look at rear naked chokes, we always wrap around the neck, underneath the chin, grab our own bicep, and then shoelace everything so we can tighten everything up to sink the choke. This, within a matter of 8, 10, 15 seconds max, the opponent will pass out. Right? He's using that exact technique, guys, from the mount position, but now the angle is to the side because he's going as a side rear naked choke, which we refer to in Jiu-Jitsu as the arm triangle. Let's take a look once again. Watch the arm movement the moment Alex reaches the mount position. From here, boom. All right, now I want to show one final technique for this tutorial. We're going to use the crossover control, but this time instead of folding into the mount position using that scissor sweep with the butterfly hook, Alex doesn't have space to put his toes. In Jiu-Jitsu, it's all about finding solutions to each of the problems you're going to encounter when you practice your moves against a resisting opponent. So now, there's no space for him to use that hook. That could happen. So instead of forcing the position, he's going to move his way into the outside using the exit from the back door to take the back. Watch as we do the technique. All right, so let me explain what just happened. This time, as Alex was trying his first technique we saw, there was no room to put that hook. The hook meaning this right here. See? When he tries to put the hook here, my elbow's in the way. So I've just shut down that opening for him. Now, because I'm resisting on the left side, he's gonna contour towards my right, okay? So the idea is to keep his hips glued around my hips so he can contour my body, post onto his elbow, put his first hook in between my legs, post up to get higher position onto his palm, and then reach the second hook in. Once he's behind me, now he can attack what we call in Jiu-Jitsu the back control. The back control is basically you being behind your opponent and having your chest glued to their back. Now he can have hooks or without hooks, but the idea is when you're there, you can easily apply a strangulation technique such as the one we're going to show today, which is the rear naked choke. Check it out. So once again, the idea is to make sure that we bring our hips around and circulate ourselves around the opponent so we can take the back control. So as I mentioned, our goal is to take the back, but from there we can spread the opponent out, put him flat, expose the chin up, which is the neck, and now wrap around that chin to grab what we call the rear naked choke. All right, guys, we hope you enjoyed this content from the closed guard position, a very effective position for self-defense situations. Guys, if you enjoyed this content, leave us a thumbs up. Also, if you have any questions or comments for videos you'd like to see in the future regarding martial arts, Jiu-Jitsu especially, we're here for you guys. Just leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more content just like this one coming your way. Until next time, guys.
See you guys in the next Jiu-Jitsu video.
Take care.